Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in the kitchen we are making a spicy, sweet and sticky chicken and cashew nut stir fry. This is incredibly easy. It leaves you with crispy golden chicken coated in a rich, sweet and sticky sauce with lots of crunch from some cashew nuts and a good bit of herb action at the end. Serve it up with steamed rice and it's an absolute winner every time. Now to start off, we're going to make up our batter for the chicken in a bowl. So I've got some corn flour going in. To this, we're going to add our egg whites. It's the egg white and the corn flour that leaves you with a really crispy finish to this chicken. And then for a little bit of flavor, I've got some sesame oil going in. And alongside that, a little bit of spice in the form of some chili powder. Now season that up with a generous pinch of some sea salt. And then just give it a whisk up. So once you have that nicely mixed through and you have a nice smooth batter, we're going to get some pre-sliced chicken into that mix and get it completely coated while we heat up some oil to fry this off. Get it completely mixed through, and you do want that chicken to really take on that little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of chili powder, but most importantly to be completely coated in both the corn flour and, of course, that egg white, which is going to give you that crispy batter once it hits the hot oil. That's nicely mixed through. Next up, a fairly generous amount of oil goes straight into a hot wok or a hot high-sided frying pan. And we're just gonna get that up to a nice temperature. And a way to make sure that it's nice and hot is to take a wooden spoon and pop it into that oil. And once it starts to sizzle around your wooden spoon, you'll know that it's hot enough to add your chicken. Now, we are shallow frying here, so I want to do this in batches to ensure that we get really crispy chicken. My oil is now at a nice hot temperature, and I'm going to grab up the tongs and just basically take off as much of the batter as possible, but pop it straight into that hot oil. And really the key here is not to overcrowd the pan. The minute it starts hitting that oil, the egg whites and the corn flour go into action and you start getting those really nice crispy edges. Now, because we're shallow frying, I'm going to flip these pieces over once they've turned a nice golden color, which is exactly where they need to be, and just cook them through on the other side. And as you can see, I'm not adding too much chicken to the pan here. Really what I'm looking for is to get that golden color, which will not happen unless you add a small amount at a time and do this in batches. Just look at that, gorgeous golden brown. That's exactly what you want, and you want it to be cooked all the way through. And as soon as it is, we're going to take it out, drain it onto some kitchen paper, and continue with the rest of the chicken until we have it all gloriously golden and crunchy. Okay, now we have two gorgeous batches of chicken, nice and fried off, crispy and golden, exactly where you want. It's delicious as it is if you wanted to eat it right away, but we're going to use that oil that's still in the pan to get our cashew nuts nice and golden brown. So while it's still hot like this, just turn it down a little touch. We're going to go straight in there with the cashew nuts and cook them until they're nice, crispy and golden. Just this little moment in the pan for those cashew nuts is going to bring them alive. It's going to bring their natural oils to the fore and get them gloriously golden, but also get that flavor going in there too. They literally need no more than about a minute or so. Just keep your eye on them because they will burn quite quickly. So as soon as they're cooked, give them a quick toss and get them straight in there with the chicken. Crispy nuts and gorgeously golden chicken. What more could you want for dinner? Okay, now that we have the nuts looking pretty good, I'm just going to remove any of that excess oil. So I'm going to leave about a tablespoon in that pan, and while that comes back up to temperature, we're going to go in there with our peppers and our spring onions and fry them off until they're nice and tender. So literally, this is now where the stir fry action comes in. We've got that little bit of oil that's going to help our veggies become nice and tender. And once they've started to soften down, we're going to get in there with our garlic. So pop that in, and you can see that a dish like this really helps if you have a lot of your ingredients prepped in advance, so it can all happen quite quickly as you're cooking away in the kitchen. Give that a good stir. garlic is smelling lovely and aromatic, and at this point now, we're gonna start to build the flavors and that sauce that's sweet and sticky. So, in with some soy sauce, in with our fish sauce for that extra saltiness, a little bit of that ketchup anise, some tomato ketchup to really bring together that sweet red flavor we're looking for, and then for our spicy element, a good bit of chili sauce. Now, the trick here is to get that combined in the pan, give it a good stir through, and allow it to thicken ever so slightly before you add your chicken and cashews back into the pan. Now we are cooking. This is where the sauce needs to be. It's slightly thickened. It only takes a minute or two, but really do make sure that you cook it out until it's starting to look a little bit thicker. Turn down the heat. We're gonna get in with our crispy chicken and our cashew. Get that straight in there and give it a toss in all that glorious flavor. Now just have a look at that. That is exactly what you want your chicken to be. It's crispy on the outside, it's got that kind of exterior that's crunchy, but that sweet sticky sauce is completely wrapped over it. And finishing touches here are a little bit of aromatics in the form of some coriander leaves and some basil leaves. And you're just gonna fold these through very much at the last minute so they still have their vibrancy, but they're gonna add great flavor, particularly in a dish like this, which is sweet, sticky, and has all those things. It's gonna add great freshness. Now that that's folded through, it is time to serve up. So I'm gonna serve this with some freshly cooked rice. So straight into the bowl with your rice, and then grab up a nice, generous mound of that beautiful, hot, sticky chicken. It's the kind of dish that you just want loads and loads of the chicken. So get that straight in there and make sure you get every little bit in, those little bits of cashew, all that herb action. It really is a gorgeous dish. Finishing touches here, you could add a little bit more coriander just on top, but for me, that is just an absolutely glorious dinner. That's quite easy to make at home. Now, it's time for the taste test. Let's try some. Bit of rice, bit of herb action, and the crunch from the cashew. Oh man. It has that perfect balance, and that's what really works with this dish. It's your ultimate like late night fix. It's the sort of thing I want to come home and eat after a few drinks. But the injection of the herbs in there at the end really add a lot of flavor. You can use Thai basil if you can get your hands on it, or just regular basil will do, but the coriander is essential. It brings a little bit of lightness to essentially what's a sticky and dark chicken dish. As always, if you want the full recipe for this, you can check it in the box below. Head over to my website and make sure you check it over there. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications, and leave me a comment below letting me know if you're gonna give this delicious recipe a go. And until then, I'm off to eat the rest, so I'll see you soon.